Okay, it's time for another retro review. This is part 2 of the Sontaran experiment after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and in this Doctor Who episode we have a good look at the Sontaran, who is, interestingly, his commanding officer is played by the same actor. They have him basically on videotape on a screen, and I guess they all look alike anyway, so why not? The makeup effects were really quite well done. There was a little, you can notice the eyes were a little separated from the mask and the mouth did not move as clearly as they did in later productions. But beyond that, it was still very convincing that this was a menacing character. And they established something here that I thought was interesting in how methodical they are. We have seen them being rather military and bureaucratic in later aspects, but this whole idea that they don't do anything without careful calculation is something that I don't think they ever followed up on after this. The Doctor, of course, shows himself to be very agile with a sonic screwdriver and disabling force fields and being able to trick the Sontaran into hand-to-hand combat, and knowing about the difference in the gravity of his home planet and of the Earth, is able to get the better of him, and by this defeat is able then to tell his superior that he is of the warrior class and everybody they've been experimenting on thus far have been the worker class, and so they don't know what they're getting themselves in for, and that causes them to call off their invasion. It's a clever thing there. We find that otherwise, there was not a whole lot of dialogue. There was a pretty good bit of action, really, and the outdoor setting was a little easier to do that than the usual set-bound episodes. So that is the Sontaran experiment. Coming up next, we have the genesis of the Daleks, which is going to be interesting. It is in 6 parts, but instead of doing one part at a time, I'm going to split it into 2 videos, parts 1 through 3 in one video and parts 4 through 6 in another, because it's a long series there, and I think that wouldn't be able to do it in one video, and yet wouldn't want to break that up into 6 weeks on one adventure. So that's how we're going to do that here. But if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, we are reviewing Doctor Who in our retro reviews, also the original series of Star Trek. In our new stuff, we are continuing to follow the Mandalorian and also Picard, and new things as they come along in the Star Wars and Star Trek universe, and the occasional HBO thing that pops up like The Last of Us, which we've just finished up. All of these are available still on the channel if you just check with, if you search The Oldest Nerd, you'll find these and much more. So until next time, don't go far.